Yesterday, I watched the Indiana Fever take on the Washington Mystics, and through the first three quarters, that might have been the worst display of basketball I've ever watched. I know I've started my videos off that way when the Indiana Fevers have bad games, but when they have bad games, their games are just so bad because they have skill. There's no way they should have lost to the Washington Mystics last night. Everybody who watched that game and knows the Indiana Fever's skill level knows that they should not have lost that game against the Washington Mystics, but they lost because of lack of effort. But we shouldn't ignore the fact that they almost came back and recorded a historical comeback. They were down, I think, 15 points with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game, and they came back and made it a ball game. So let's go back to the fourth quarter and analyze what exactly the Indiana Fever did to make a 20-point comeback. Now, I will let you know, this whole comeback started with Caitlin Clark. She was the reason that they came back. I think she had something like 15 points in the fourth quarter. She was spectacular. And it starts with this play. Notice how off the rebound, Caitlin Clark gets the rebound and pushes the pace. She pushes the pace and goes all the way to the rim. She is touching the paint. She's done that a whole lot in this game, and you will see it more as we go on. She was touching the paint, getting downhill a whole lot, either kicking it out or going up, getting free throws or getting a layup. She was touching the paint. When Caitlin Clark touches the paint, good things happen. Either you're going to get an easy kick out or you're going to get an easy layup if you're Caitlin Clark. You love to see it. And you know what? This is effort. When she got that rebound and pushed the pace, that is the effort that the first three quarters lacked. Caitlin Clark came into the fourth quarter. When she got back in the game, I think she was benched for the remaining parts of the third quarter. When she got in the fourth quarter, she came in with energy. She came in with some drive, and it drove her teammates. It drove a girl like a Lexi Hull to start playing with some energy and some effort. That's what got them back in this game. It was effort. And it started with Caitlin Clark. Notice this play. Caitlin Clark gets below the free throw line. Once again, she backs her way down towards the paint. And notice how she draws defensive attention. Lexi Hull's defender starts wanting to see what Caitlin Clark is about to do, so she inches over, and that gives Lexi Hull a backdoor cut. And what a cut by Lexi. What a find by Caitlin. I really like watching Lexi Hull these days. I think she really should be a starter at this point because of her defense, her energy, her effort. I don't know who you take out of the starting lineup. Maybe Melissa Smith. You know, her defense ain't it sometimes. But even if she's coming off the bench, she needs as many minutes as most of the starters because she is playing with effort, energy, defensive intensity, and she knows when to cut. She knows when to pass the ball to Caitlin Clark. She finds Caitlin when nobody else does. Lexi Hull is a great player. She needs to get more minutes. The first thing I want you to look at in this play is the fact that Lexi Hull recognizes that she needs to come out of that right corner into the top of the key, because what she did was she left Demiris Dantes with a wide open wing. It was a fully open wing where she could just do whatever she wanted to. So Caitlin Clark decides that she's just going to give it down to Demiris because, see, Caitlin saw it, Lexi saw it, Demiris saw it. All three of them saw the fact that there was an opening for Demiris. I love that. I just like that. That's the chemistry type of things I look at. And so Demiris Dantes go to work. And you know what? I think she's going to be another one of the X factors going on later on in the season because Aaliyah Boston does seem to get tired sometimes. So it'll be good to be able to give her a rest, and Demiris can come in the game and actually, hold the fort down. So I like what I'm seeing from her so far in her first few games back from injury. And on to the next play. Now, what I really like from this play is the aggressiveness by Caitlin. Now, notice she's pushing the pace. She comes down and shoots a three. That is the type of thing I want to see from Caitlin Clark because those are the type of things she did in college. And ever since she came to the pros, she almost took a backseat and kind of stopped shooting some of the shots she shot in college. And there's been a lot of people saying, hey, this isn't college, so don't shoot those shots. But my thing is, you are limiting a player when you're not letting them do what they love to do. Like, that's the way she plays. She shoots stupid shots. You can't put her into an offense. Let her come down and shoot these crazy shots because as I've been saying, she's going to eventually hit him. In this game, she hit 5 threes. She eventually hit him. Like, I know the last 5 games or so, she hasn't been hitting threes at a high rate. But I've been telling you guys, anybody with the brain who watched her in college could tell you guys, eventually she's going to hit them. Like, she's hitting them now. Once she starts hitting them, these are great shots. She needs to shoot them. You cannot make shots that you do not shoot. I like to see her come down the court and just shoot that shot when she has that space. That's what Steph Curry does. Like, if you know you're a stone cold killer, like Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, great shooters are going to shoot when they have an inch of space. Don't second guess yourself. Just play your game. And as of late, I've just seen a lot of Caitlin Clark playing her game, her just spreading her wings out and being the player that she is, having triple doubles, getting steals, getting blocks, just playing the game in the way she wants to play. So I'm not going to sit there and rant about that, but at the end of the day, this is what I love to see. Now look at this atrocity. Kelsey Mitchell shoots a shot off the side of the backboard. And that's not the big problem. The big problem is that there's 14 seconds left on the shot clock, and she's shooting this contested shot in the corner. Kelsey Mitchell is going back to her old ways. She's also not having a good quarter. She's like not at all. And it's very funny because she ends up getting a big time shot at the end of this game, and they just used Caitlin Clark as a decoy when they could have gave the shot to Caitlin. They give it to Kelsey Mitchell. So anyway, I just wanted to show that because that is a terrible shot, and it's these kinds of things that limit you. Now in this play, I want you to notice how Caitlin Clark recognizes that Aaliyah Boston has a mismatch, a size advantage. Aaliyah Boston realized it as well. So off that screen, she just goes down there. She just fights for position, and Caitlin Clark is just going to hold the ball and wait for you to get good position, and she's going to give it down there to you. Aaliyah Boston can go to work. These are the kind of sets I like between Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston because of the fact that when they are running sets like this, it's not more so, Caitlin Clark run off ball, then give the ball to Kelsey Mitchell, and Kelsey Mitchell gives it down low to Aaliyah Boston to back the ball down 7 times. No, we get to use the flow of the game, the flow of the offense, the flow of the pace that is being pushed, if they're pushing the pace, which usually, as of late, they are pushing the pace. You're using the way the game is going to benefit instead of like having to stop the game and run a slow offense. I don't like when teams just kind of like put a stick in the game. Like the way the game is flowing, like play with the flow of the game. So when Caitlin Clark is pushing the pace, you want Aaliyah Boston to be able to run with her. That is what I like to see. Now, there's a whole lot of things I like about this play. But notice, in transition, Caitlin Clark is running, and the defense is focused on Caitlin. That leaves Lexi Hull with the open shot on the wing, and she drills it. And that's what I like to see about Lexi Hull, because she plays with defensive intensity. We know that. She's a dog. We know that. But then she's almost had been unplayable for the first, 15 games of the season because she is so bad on offense. It's just the truth. Like, I was thinking she was unplayable myself because I'm like, well, you play good defense. You play with energy and effort. You know when to cut. But you suck on offense. You can't make a three-point shot to save your life. She was missing layups and everything. Her offensive game seems to be coming around. She seems to be getting in a groove, and she seems to be filling out the game. So she's hitting big-time shots now. Now she's really, really becoming a real piece. Like, if you can hit three-point shots when you get open, Lexi, then, you actually might get the starting spot if I'm the coach. Because, low-key, your defensive intensity is so much better than what Melissa Smith gives me. I literally might have to start you as long as you can hit 1 of 3 threes. Now, I want to show you guys this play because it is off-ball, and this is a good set. I like this by Chrissy Tosh. It looks like a Warrior set. But I just want to say, this is the greatest screen I've ever seen Melissa Smith set in all of my days of watching her play. I've never seen her set this good of a screen for Caitlin Clark ever. This is the most beautiful screen ever. I just wanted to just show you guys this screen. Big time shot by Caitlin Clark. I'm glad she's shooting these and hitting these because these are the same shots she gets in every game. She's just making in this game. She's going to continue to grow, and she's going to continue to get a feel for the game at the highest level. And she's going to start hitting these 3-point shots at a higher rate. But man, that screen was that's just something I don't think I've seen all year. But then notice, on that same play, Caitlin Clark gets the steal off an inbound, and then she goes straight to the cup and gets 2 free throws. That's a 5-point swing by Caitlin Clark alone. She's playing with energy and effort, and I might not have stretched it enough in this video, but the reason they got back into this game is because of Caitlin Clark. She came out with effort, and everybody followed suit. What we saw from the fourth quarter, that needs to transfer over into this next game. Now remember, as I was saying, when Caitlin Clark touches the paint, good things happen. Kelsey Mitchell doesn't score here, but notice how when Caitlin Clark penetrates, gets down low, she finds people open out on the wings. If you just touch the paint, Caitlin Clark is realizing that the defense is going to collapse, and she's going to find people out there. I also want you to notice on this play that Kelsey Mitchell is still missing shots. She did not have the best fourth quarter, and I'm going to make a point later on with that fact. Now look at this. This is what got them back in the game. It's defensive intensity. Look, in transition, they're playing amazing transition defense. Lexi Hull gets a steal. Caitlin Clark goes straight to the paint. An easy layup. They're running. Good things happen when you run. You're going to be rewarded if you play with energy and effort. This is what I like to see. I notice these things with Lexi Hull. I know it doesn't pop up on the stat sheet, but she is really just running around doing a whole lot of things on the court for this Indiana Fever team. Great teams have guys that can just run and just play defense and give energy when the stars are tired, or the starters are tired. Like that one person when the game is just getting out of hand, that'll just come in and just run and just play hard defense and just get chippy. And like that's what you need. And Lexi Hull is doing that for this team. Now, once again, Caitlin Clark gets downhill and she gets 2 free throws that can potentially cut the game to 3 points. And it does end up doing that. And I love this play. I love these plays by Caitlin Clark because she's getting downhill and she's going up straight. She's not going up trying to draw contact. I saw a lot of that earlier in the season with Caitlin Clark. She'd be going up into the paint, but she wasn't trying to actually make the layup. She was just trying to draw contact. On these layups, she's actually trying to make the layups, and so it's going to make the contact be more visible. It's not going to be like a flop. They're not going to call flop on you. Just go up straight with it, go up strong with it. I think it's working for her. Now, I really don't like this last play. It doesn't make much sense to me personally. And you know what? You're down 5 points. There's 16 seconds left. The other team is, you know what? They're in the driver's seat, and the game is kind of out of reach at this point. But this is your last little desperation call. And you know what? Caitlin Clark is being run as a decoy. She is the one that got you back in this game. She's been hot all quarter, and somehow she's being used as a decoy. When Aaliyah Boston got that ball in that corner off that whatever that was by Kelsey Mitchell, for one, she missed an opportunity to pass the ball to Kelsey Mitchell, who was wide open. And then when the ball would have got to Kelsey Mitchell, the ball should have immediately went to Caitlin Clark, because you'll notice for the remainder of this play, Caitlin Clark is technically just wide open. But no, we're not looking for that. We're just going to go step back one-on-one with Kelsey Mitchell. And you know what? I'm not here blaming Kelsey Mitchell for the loss. I just don't like the fact that this last play ended up going to Kelsey Mitchell. I showed you guys that she was not playing the best through this fourth quarter, and somehow, some way, we're not running a play for Caitlin Clark. We're running a play that just makes Caitlin Clark sit at the wing. I'm not saying she had to shoot a shot here. I would have preferred if she would have shot a shot here. I just don't like that shot at all. I don't know why we shot that. I don't know what the point of that was. I don't know what we were thinking there. That doesn't make any sense. Why are we going one-on-one with Kelsey Mitchell? What was that in the first place? What are we doing? What is this? And you know what, man? I can't blame anybody but Chrissy Sides for this game. Now, I'm not saying Chrissy Sides is a bad coach, and I'm not going to blame her entirely for the loss. Over the past few games, she has done great things. I like how she's letting the offense run through Caitlin Clark and letting Caitlin Clark just become the unicorn that she is and just, fill out and play the, crazy way that she plays. But at the end of the day, man, this display of basketball we saw for the first 3 quarters, that was a lack of effort. And you might say, well, that's the players' fault. They weren't playing with effort. But who else can get the players in check? Who else can tell the players, hey, play hard besides the coach? Like, when the players are playing lazy, who's going to get them in check? It's got to be the coach. It's got to be the coach. Like, you got to have the respect of your players. You got to, like Tom Thibodeau. I don't know how Tom Thibodeau coaches, what he says to them boys, but when Tom Thibodeau wants them boys to run, they're going to run. And they respect him so much that they always going to play with effort. Like, that's a coaching thing. Like, a lot of those players would give it back to Tom Thibodeau and say, hey, Tom Thibodeau's the reason we run up and down like that. Like, this lazy display of basketball we saw in this last game, this terrible defense we saw, yeah, you could say it's the players' fault, but I think it's the coach's fault for not, making these players run. Like, I don't know what exactly she needs to do, but she need to do something, because these players obviously don't respect her in a way to where if they come into the, or maybe she's not saying in the huddle. I don't know what she's saying in the huddles. I would assume Christy Sides is saying in the huddle, you guys need to play with more effort in that first quarter, and then they just proceed to not go play with effort in the second and third quarter. That's just what we saw. So I don't know what exactly is happening. I don't know if she's not seeing it. Maybe she's not telling them to play with more effort. But if she is, they're obviously not respecting her in a way, because they did not make any adjustments. But I'm out, man. I'll see y'all later. Hopefully, the Indiana Fever can pick up a win against the Phoenix Mercury.